Good morning, East Texas. It's time to rise and shine with the sun. The Grand Saline sun. Right here on VZTV. Grab your coffee and come join the fun.
All right. Well, welcome back, guys. It's been an interesting week. I want to say it's been long, but it seems like it's flown by because I haven't had much time off. But we've got an interesting show today. Today I'm going to go back. I'm going to reflect. We all know the last broadcast I did on Wednesday night dropped some bombshell information. And, I sat back yesterday. We didn't have a show. My son had a job. He picked up a job. Thank you, Sherman Floor Care, for employing my boy when he can. And so y'all be sure, call Sherman Floor Care up. And you get 20% off if you tell them you saw it on VZTV. But Jamie and Kim, they helped me be able to do this because they offer Corbin a flexible schedule when they can use him. So I want to thank those guys. But anyway, so we didn't do it yesterday, but I wanted to take that opportunity to sit back and just see the blowback from the video we played Wednesday night. And so that's coming around the corner. I've been asked 1,000 times what I think, my take, and I'm going to break it down. And I think you're probably going to want to hear this. But first and foremost, before I get to the smoke signals, we're going to put that to the back, and we're going to bring the veteran to the front. My buddy John Ring is with us. He's supposed to be on Thursdays, but yesterday, back to school got a hold of him, and it got a hold of me. Of course, the Wednesday night show, we didn't have one yesterday, so it worked out best. We got him here again on Friday, and last Friday worked out best for you. We may just need to put you on Friday so you can kick off the weekend with VZTV.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. Thursday, I don't know. There's just something about Thursday.
It seems not to work for us, does it?
That doesn't. Friday's usually a more chill day because everybody's kind of like doing that last stretch to get to the weekend.
And just so everybody knows, you can't hear John on the Facebook because the audio's pumped into the broadcast. So if you want to go hear the whole thing, y'all go over to VZTV and watch the whole thing. Again, I'm going to reflect on this whole situation that we broadcast the other night. You're going to want to hear my take. You want to hear why I did what I did. And I think I'll clear up a lot of questions and misconceptions and put some things into context. But first, John, what do you got for us today? You want to start on the vet side of it, or you want to start on the Wood County side of it?
I'll start on the veteran side. So, like I said, there's always something going on out there, usually some legislation. We got we got service members overseas constantly. Today is Red Friday, remembering everybody deployed. One of the biggest things I want to focus on is just recovery. We talk about suicide. We talk about, KIA, soldiers losing their lives while they're overseas deployed. Before we get to, after the veteran status and, even service members recovery, getting out there, getting involved, getting help when you need it. It is not a sign of weakness. That's one of the biggest things that I hear veterans talk about all the time. Oh, I'm not going to say anything because of this, because of that. Listen, if you need help, you need help. If you're in East Texas and you need help, there's many organizations out there. You got your VFWs, you got your American Legions, you got your Marine Corps League, you have your veteran service officers. Reach out to them, especially your veteran service officers. They're all county workers. They're paid to help you as a veteran in your respective county that you're in, but reach out to them. There's also other good resources out there. In East Texas alone, you have the East Texas Recovery Center. They have a platform. It's called Your Six Recovery, where they focus on addiction, PTSD, just mental health. And, I've heard great things about them. I have never personally worked with them as far as walkforvets.org goes, but I have communicated with one of their staff members,
right?
And she seems very involved in the community and very involved in mental health. So if you're a veteran and you're battling, and not even a veteran, if you are in the community, East Texas, wherever you're listening, and you need help with substance abuse, mental health, reach out to them. Again, Texas Recovery Centers, Karen Wolf, and you can reach her at 432-269-8982. Again, that number is 432-269-8982. And they also work with the VA. So you don't necessarily, and I always tell veterans, just because you're going through something doesn't mean you have to use the VA to get treatment. We all know the VA is slammed. Oftentimes you hit a roadblock. These organizations out here work with the VA. They do all the hard work to help you get the help that you need. So reach out to them. East Texas Recovery Center is a great organization, and there's lots of other ones out there. But I just wanted to mention them today because, like, look, I see them out there. They're doing the groundwork and they're trying to reach out to people, reaching out to family members, and saying, hey, look, if you got somebody that's going through it, give us a call. Let us see how we can help. So that's as far as the veteran side of things. Wood County, look, we all know it's that time of year, back to school. I think all the kids are in the process of about a week now, heading back to school.
Right.
Every one of the districts in Wood County are doing registration. So make sure you're following them. Go to the websites. You can go to Wood County Now on Facebook. I got all the information out there, shared, posted. But just make sure you're doing everything you need to do so that last day you're not hitting a roadblock and something wasn't done and your kids aren't registered to get back to school. There's also some, I posted some information about some donation drives to help kids, families in need. I think Van Zandt has a bunch of those going on. I think they're happening. They happen now all over the place. It's a great thing, helping families that need that kind of support and back to school supplies. If you're able, help some of these organizations out with a donation, volunteer your time. Jobs, I have a post going out this morning. If you're looking for a job here in the Wood County area, I do it every once in a while, every 2 weeks. Take a look at the comments. Businesses, people are posting open available jobs all the time. Reach out, apply, and hopefully we can help get you connected with an employer that will help you move forward.
Right. And you can go to Facebook, Wood County Now. John owns that domain. He runs that domain. He's always, even though right now are you in North Carolina, South Carolina?
South Carolina. I've been stationary for a little bit right now, but I'm coming up on like some, I don't know, probably about next month and a half, probably about 6,000 miles of traveling all over the U.S. So,
yeah, and we can go ahead and tease. You're going to be in studio.
I'm going to be in the studio. I think, I can't remember the dates, September 14th, 15th, around there.
Something like that.
I'm going to have a special guest with me, somebody you haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, old Matthews.
Yeah. So we'll be in the studio, I think, 2 days, and we'll definitely, it'll be a good visit.
Yeah, it will be, because I haven't seen you with my own eyes. I guess it's the last time we had lunch together, that time in Grand Saline. It's been a minute. Yeah, every bit of
about 4 years ago.
And so it's going to be great to have you in studio. And I'm still hoping you can work it into your schedule on August 8th to be down here at the American Heroes deal. You said that was going to be tricky and you'd have to pull a magician's act to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping
that
somehow.
Might be a little bit hard, but
yeah.
I mean, I'll definitely be tracking it. And I think I have a few people that are actually planning on going. So even if I'm not there, I'll get all the feedback. I'll get pictures, I'll get it out there and share it, and I'll promote it.
And you've got people,
like
members of walkforvest.org are all across the country. So, I mean, to have a representative from there, I mean, there's people everywhere that's been with you on the walks all across every state, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we have people all over the country. And it's the best thing is, like, when I'm traveling, I'm always stopping to visit somebody. That's why it takes me like a week to go 100 miles, because I'm usually stopping, and it's all about those connections. It's all about the people that you meet, and not just letting that relationship crumble. That's how we help each other. That's how,
Right.
I have people that reach out and, be like, hey, look, I got somebody suffering in Detroit. Do you know anybody? Well, yes, I do,
I know a fella.
And so that's how we're able to help people build that network, But, Bert, I would probably see you more if, like, you weren't always running around,
Well,
like, you need to call me and tell me to slow down, and I need to call you and tell you to slow down, and maybe we can have lunch again.
Well, what's really funny is a lot of people don't even realize because they see me stationary on the show, so I guess they figure I just live in this seat and do nothing. And then of course, if you're in the little circle or you're involved in the research, then people are like, man, do you ever sleep? And I'm like, only when I'm driving. Sheriff Bridger hates it when I
What
break
they
that
don't
joke.
realize, it's not even you, it's AI. Like you're out running around still, and this
Yeah.
is just like a stand.
Well, you're not supposed to say that. This is we've gone beyond AI. We're hologram. We are hologramming it right now. I mean, I can probably put my hold on. Let me see. See there? Went all the way through. Yeah. But no, yeah. But this kind of industry, just like what you're doing. I mean, some people have 9 to 5s. They go to work, they punch a clock, they crunch the numbers, they get done, they file it, and they go home for the evening. With you, like vets, they live with their demons 24 hours a day, just like me with news. It's 24 hours a day. My wife sometimes gets so upset because I don't stop. I mean, like 10 o'clock at night, I get a text. And she knows that if I grab that phone and grab it, that text may have meant something. I'll be outside till midnight on the phone talking to somebody. But for the next 48 hours, it is nothing but running and catching because just like in your instance, when a veteran is in a moment of crisis, you can't say, I'll be there in 3 days. You need somebody knocking on that door before you hang up the phone because it is just like that. I believe that I do have an honorable calling, but what you do to me when you serve those that fought for our freedom, man, I'm going to tell you right now, I commend you for everything you do and being there forever. And I will commend our Van Zandt County Veterans Group. We have a great group. They're the ones that put Phil Smith. Phil Smith comes on the show a lot. He'll be on after the August 8th festival, and we'll be able to hear more veteran stories from right here at home. But we have a very good, strong veteran group here in Van Zandt County. And even though I'm not a veteran myself, I want to thank them for serving those. Because like I said, where else can an idiot like me have a television channel that reaches 67 countries? I mean, literally, if I were in some of the countries that our broadcast has reached, Bert probably wouldn't make it to the house after going to the grocery store because I'd have SWAT on me. If you hit 67, if you hit 67 countries. I mean, I watched something over in England, our brothers, and they were breaking in because of Facebook posts. People coming in,
Right.
and we've seen that in Trinidad, right down the road. People making Facebook posts and somebody coming in there knocking in the door, putting cuffs on them. I mean, when you got to be worried like that, I mean, reason why I can sit out here and say what I do is because the guys that you're serving, and you're one of those guys. And like I said, I'm happy to help you serve them guys with this broadcast. But guys, I want to say this to every veteran out there: I don't care what your struggle is. There is nothing too embarrassing, too ashaming, too difficult, too far gone that you can't reach out to fellas like John or myself. I will get you in touch. My phone number is right there at the bottom. And I promise you right now, if you held your hand, I'm not going to say if you put foot on battlefield because I don't care if you did that or not, if you sat there the whole time swabbing the deck. I'm going to put this right here. If you put your hand up in the air and swore an oath to our military and you did your serving of your time and you're going through a time of crisis, trust me, I'm a guy that struggles with a brain that's not all right either. You call me, I will get you to John, and we can get through this together, my friend. You fought for us, and right now we're fighting for you. So that's all I got to say about that, John. Did you have anything else that you wanted to get across before we called it goodbye?
No, I mean, I just want to say to you, because you sit there and you give the respect, but I give you the respect as well. I mean, I commend you. You're using your platform, bring me into it to reach out to other people that served our country, and not just people that served our country, their families, And let's be real, Bert. I mean, you didn't serve. You've gone through your own struggles. I know you personally. If somebody's sitting outside and you see them struggling, you're going to open your heart up to help that person.
Every day.
But I mean, just as that person has to give enough respect to themselves to be a part of that help,
Yes, amen.
We all know you got to be willing to help yourself in order for somebody to genuinely help you. And so I commend you for everything that you're doing, Corbin, Katie, all you guys. You're doing a great job. and I just really appreciate this opportunity. I own 3 businesses, Walk for Vets, and I think this is now. I mean, I do two other podcasts. Not full time, but I can just jump
Right.
in here and there. But we always have a lot going on. But sometimes you just got to slow down, and do things like this. Put these messages out there, help
Amen.
people, and that's what it's all about.
And
So
slow
I commend
down.
you guys for
Slow
everything you're
down.
doing.
Exactly. Slow down. And I appreciate
Maybe
it.
we could do something special in September when I come out there. Maybe we can actually go live, do a walk,
Amen. Let's do that.
and then let's come back and talk about it.
You know what we can do?
Maybe we can help coordinate it out there.
Well, I'll tell you what we can do is, and we when you come down, you're gonna be down for a couple days. What we can do is we can meet up in Mineola, and then we can walk from Mineola over here. We'll have to figure out what time we'd start and all that good stuff, and we can do the walk. We do the live as we walk into the studio when we walk in here and jump online. Now, it may sound like this for the first hour.
Yeah. See,
but
this is where Corbin was supposed to cut your mic off when you started talking.
See, Corbin likes to get me, likes for me to get myself in a debate. I don't know if you saw the one with Sheriff Bridger the other day, but somehow I come out in the end of that one. I'm going to get tased if all the chiefs of police show up on my set. So I get to ride the lightning. So yeah, and that's all because of my son's crafty little wording over there. Everybody thinks that I'm in control. He's the puppet master. He just does things to get me in trouble over here. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, but
he'll be filming you as you're struggling on that walk.
Well, you know what? It was really funny. He was sitting back here, and I don't know if you remember when we did our first walk up there. About time we got about a mile or two outside of Grants Lane, I was like, "So, John, I'm just going to ask you a question, and you're just going to have to answer, so I catch my breath." And I'd let you talk while I sat there and caught my breath. So, unfortunately, sitting in a vehicle and sitting in this chair and all that stuff, I'm not as in good shape. But you know what I'll do? I'll tell you this right now. I'll never say no to one of them walks. Matter of fact, I even told you, because I met you before I went to TDC, and I told you after I got out of TDC that if you ever wanted me to be a part of one of your walks, to let me know. And
for sure.
And we were going to do that. And so, I guess this could be my way of holding to my word without having to walk across 15 states and killing myself.
Yeah, we'll put something together. We'll talk about it. But listen, this time when you start breathing heavy, I'm not gonna buy that. Oh, I think there's a fire somewhere story. Like, somebody else can cover that.
Dadgummit, man, he's already calling me out on all my excuses. Most definitely. I look forward to it, John. I can't wait to have you back in the studio, man. Hey, have a great weekend. And again, God bless you for what you do, and thank you for your service, on both sides of the battlefield, man, on this side and that side. We appreciate everything you do, and I appreciate your friendship, and I love you, brother. We'll talk to you next week.
Love you guys, too. Take care.
Later, dude.
Bye-bye.
All righty. So let's go ahead and let's jump into our specials and get that out of the way real quick. Corbin, you got all those loaded up? All righty. We're going to get that out of the way, and then I'm going to jump into hold on, since John's gone. Well, no, I'm going to leave that there on TV while I do my specials, because once this is all said and done, I'm going to flip it back over to me, and you're going to be able to see me and hear me and stuff like that. But it's just going to be me. So I'm going to reflect back on what we saw Wednesday night. Number one question I got was, what were my takeaways? Did I get any blowback and all that? I'm going to come back, tell you about my last 24 hours, and let you know my takeaway from all this. But first, let's get the people that pay for our business out of the way. All right. I like that new background, Corbin. That's pretty sharp. Thank you for changing that. That looks sharp. Anyway, if y'all see all that stuff, Corbin does all that. He makes our show look great. Thank you so much for upping that. Anyway, Milano's Pizza. I'm going to tell you right now, guys, go get you some Milano's Pizza. We love Milano's Pizza. My family loves Milano's Pizza. I can't tell you how many times my wife has told me, hey, you need to go cook supper, and I give old Milano's Pizza a call. So y'all call up Matt and the crowd up there at Milano's, 903-962-6060. Ask them for the family special. That's one 3-topping and a specialty pizza. So give them a call. This week at the tracks, Is this for this week? Is it okay? I want to be sure that this is for this week. J22 Rockin' Beef. That beef came straight from ranch, straight to the plate. Let me tell you something. You're not going to get any better beef. And that's a shout out to a fellow church mate, a fellow friend, somebody I've known forever, Jason Taylor over there. I know how they raise their cows. I know how they run their organization. So when that beef right there hits your plate, I'm going to tell you right now. Now, you take good beef like that, and you take two great chefs like there's two salty broads over there at Tracks, and I guarantee that cow is singing an opera in your taste buds because that is good scratch cooking, guys. So y'all be sure go over there and get you some of that. Their specials run $14.99, and if you get in there and you're first in line and a train goes by, you get a free scoop of ice cream. Go see the two salty broads. Right as you cross over the railroad tracks, you look over to your right, and you're going to see the mural on the wall, pull into a parking spot. You're not even going to believe how nice it is in there. It is a beautiful establishment. A lot of good knickknacks to go look for. Y'all go check out the two salty broads. Tell them VZTV sent you, and get you some of that good old home scratch cooking. We've also got the East Texas Heroes. We talked about that a while ago, August 8th. It's going to go on from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're going to have a booth out there. Grand Saline Sonic's going to have us some coupons, so we're going to give out some free Sonic merch. We're going to have day passes for Splash Kingdom out there. As the season closes down, come down out there. We're going to be giving those away. We're going to have a free seat. So if you want to see what it's like to be in my chair right here, y'all can sit down and have a one-on-one with me, get some pictures with the kids behind the mic. Y'all come out and see who that crazy old fart is that comes on your TV every day at 10 to 12. Also, you heard me talk about Jamie Sherman and Kim Sherman a while ago. That's them up there in that little picture. Now, that van is outdated. They got them a new van, guys. It's bigger, it's badder, it's better, and it could get that house even cleaner. But that 20% discount that they've always offered, it still stands. Y'all give them a call at 214-434-8012 and get 20% off if you said you saw it on VZTV. Also, go see old Julio over there at VZ Equipment Rentals. They're at the intersection of 64 and 17. If your brakes go out on 17, you're going to go right into their bay door. But not after you do a lot of damage to their good quality equipment over there sitting in the lot. You go over there and you tell them that you saw it on VZTV, you get 15% off. And I tell you what, right now, both of these companies, if you go in there and get your whole house cleaned, or you go out there and you order you a piece of that equipment for a week, 15 and 20% off, that speaks a lot to your wallet, guys. Do your wallet a favor. Shop at people that shop with us, because if they support us, we support them, and they support your wallet. Win, win, win. We also got Roma's Cafe. You can sit there and look at them lunch specials, man. I mean, baked ziti, cheese ravioli, meat ravioli, lasagna, manicotti, pasta sampler, stromboli, calzones, chicken parmesan sub or meatball sub, spaghetti with a choice of, and it says meatballs or meat sauce and mustard. Just go get you some of that. I have not heard one bad comment about Roma's right now. I'm telling you right now, go see Dino down there at Roma's. Tell him you saw us on VZTV. Say I saw your menu on there. He just gave me a menu to take home so I can sit there and dream about that good Italian food. Big meal deal down at Sonic, guys. Grand Saline Sonic. Go see them. $7, and look at what you get right there for $7. The other day, Katie come in there and asked me about it. I mean, you're going to get full on that meal right there. It is a lot of food for $7, and it's hard to find a meal that you're going to have leftovers with for $7. That right there, I'm going to tell you right now, that last bite, you're going to be going, because you're full. Go see Sonic down there at the 7-meal deal. Tell them I sent you. It's going to cost you still $7, but it keeps them coming back, keep seeing me every day. Also coming soon, we got a big announcement. Our next branch of entertainment's coming. It's the VZTV Golf Channel. We're going to have a simulated touring league, and this is in partnership. I haven't got it on this graphic yet. But Ryan over at the Eagles Nest Golf Lounge, he and I are going hand in hand. We've got our little skip in sync, and we're going right down, and we're going to start up some golf entertainment for you guys. I can't stretch myself too thin, but a couple things that I can do right. And we are building a golf league that you are not going to want to miss. We're going to have great entertainment. We're going to have great competition. We're going to have great broadcast. You see the quality we bring. That's coming to you. It's going to be golf. The VZTV STL the Simulated Touring League. Our first season is going to be coaches versus players, and Coach Chastain, going to be taking on a handful of their players. See who comes out the champion. And the winner, the personal best of that, will move on to Season 2. Season 2, you will have to have an 8 or better handicap, so this is not for hackers. You got to qualify to get into the league. Now, don't get me wrong. We got other things in the works. We're going to get this one going on, and we got a Battle of the Businesses going on. We do have a tournament for you guys that are out there that, I mean, you may be like me. There you go. There's the Battle of the Businesses, and you can see Eagle's Nest up there. We got him on that one. Y'all give us a call, and you'll see that both mine and Ryan's numbers are up there. Now, don't really pay a whole lot of attention to that inner circle thing where we have the layout. We are still going to have 3-hole qualifiers. We're still going to have the 9-hole championship qualifier, and then we're going to have the championship round, which is going to be 18 holes. We are just trying to figure out the most effective way to break this down so it doesn't draw on for like 40 months, and we want this to be, we would prefer it to fit into a 6-week time frame, but if you notice, $3,000 in cash, prizes, $1,500 for the winner, $1,000 for the runner-up, and $500 for the third place. So the podiums get money in pocket. Come out there, show everybody you're the best in business. We've already got people signing up right now. You better hurry up because we've only got 46 slots. And if those are full, you're going to have to wait till the next round. Me and Ryan are talking about it, and we're going to make this a King of the Hill type thing. We think we're going to do it this way. If you win the Battle of the Business, you get to stay on. The next tour, you don't have to pay an entry fee. You get to claim it and hold on to it as long as you can. We're going to have a Stanley Cup style trophy that stays around that has your plaque put up there. So if you win it 3 and 4 and 5 seasons in a row, you're going to have your name up there a whole lot. So when people come in, they're going to say, man, that guy must have been a pretty good stick. If you are that feller, drop your name in that hat. Get in touch with me or Ryan, and we'll get you in the list. And tell us that you're the best in biz. And if you are the best in biz in Season 1, how long can you hang on? This is going to be good stuff, guys. Bring it. We've also got the Dairy Bar. And I'm going to tell you right now, they have daily specials. They have daily lunch specials. My phone. Let me go over here. Got to get over here. Sorry, guys. I got to get right over here to my, not text messages. It is, oh, wait. What do we got here? Okay. Ryan Walker just sent me. Okay, there we go. Thank you, sir. Let's see. Where are we going over here? Nope, not there. Right here. I got to get over here into my messengers. Go back to Messenger. I got the Dairy. Oh, that's not even Messenger. My bad. Anyway, y'all go see Dairy Bar. I'll share their specials. You go find them on Facebook. And every day it's good stuff. It's affordable food. But I won't tell you this, guys. If you go there for the lunch special or not, go there for their chips and hot sauce. I mean, that is what we ought to be. I mean, it's so good that my pastor, brother David Crane, up there at Main Street Church, sits there and preaches the glory of the hot sauce down there at the Dairy Bar. Y'all go down there and support it. It's always been a hometown hangout. And that hometown hangout, I'm going to tell you right now, guys, if you don't support local, what are you really doing? I'm sorry, I can't find it. Anyway, I'll share it on Facebook. I apologize to the crew down there at the Dairy Bar. I can't find the special. We've been rushing to trying to get everything designed, and as y'all know, my past several days have been pretty crazy. Go ahead, Corbin. And if you want to donate, we do a lot of this. I tell y'all, I do a lot of running around and a lot of getting a lot of no's. We need to pay our bills, guys. I don't like running around not having coffee in my pantry in the morning. So we try to pay these bills so we can come over here and kick online and give y'all all this news, give you all this content, bring you the league. Look, if you own a business, come in here and support us that way. But until we get enough businesses in here to support us without having to do this, I'm just going to go completely televangelist on you and say, come on, please, brother, you'll be blessed if you donate to the VZTV. I will personally go to and you'll probably have worse luck, but I'll appreciate your donation. Thank you very much. And we're back. Corbin says we're done with all that. And, guys, okay. We to the point. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and share it. If you out there watching on the app, tell everybody it's time. Go ahead and roll the smoke signals, Corbin. All right, here we are with the smoke signals, and I just wanted to do this. I flip-flopped the veterans and the smoke signals, but I am the person. Let me flip my camera around right here so y'all can see me talking. We got Corbin over here. He's getting things adjusted and all this stuff. And I want to thank him for the past, I guess, week. I've kept this boy working left and right because we've had stuff coming in. I've been talking on the phone since I pulled in. But the other night when we had our big show, I dropped a lot of incriminating sounding audio and video and a lot of stuff on the Bert show the other night at 7 o'clock. It went in 2.5 hours. It's archived. It's been seen 542 times on YouTube. We had over 275 live viewers in action, and it's been archived. I haven't gone back and looked, and I'm not really too concerned about it right now because yesterday you noticed we didn't have us a show. And we didn't have us a show because Corby got a job and I didn't, and I was tired. You know, I should have told you to pull this one up, but I did. But there's a clip on Green Mile where the old boy says, "I'm tired, boss. I'm real tired." Well, after the how this week started, the show Wednesday, and then we got there yesterday. I told the wife, I said, I'm just not going to go on, and I'm going to sit back, and I'm going to see how things sort of play out, how they react, how people react. And so the past 24 hours, I sort of sat back, and there's some takeaways that I took, but I also reflected upon what went down. And I reflected upon the evidence I was presented, both on the record and off the record. And I sat there and I juggled stuff. And of course, I've had a lot of long-term knowledge of all parties involved. I would have to say that of all of them, Joe Donaldson was the one that I have known the least for the shortest amount of time. But again, I've been following him for years. And like I've told, I follow people in my county and coverage as people follow sports stars and stuff like that. They could tell you the backs and the ins and outs and the past teams and the stats and all that. Well, one thing that I've been able to do over the years is work hand in hand with a lot of these people. I've got to see them not only in their personal lives as we encounter each other in the wild, but also them professionally. And one of the things that, when I was talking to Sheriff Bridger the other day, he was looking at me, and I could tell he was perplexed in his situation. He said, Bert, there's a lot of stuff that's being spread online, and he says, it's bothering me. It's driving me crazy that I can't say what I want to say. And I also had a family that the husband said, Bert, I want to go over there, and I want to take care of business like any man should, but I can't because I got to think about the well-being of my family. Those are the two things that I was faced with that were really my big driving forces, because I told y'all I have an insatiable lust for justice, number one. And I saw the perplexed look in Bridger's face when he told me I can't do nothing, but things are being said that I can't correct, and it's driving me crazy. And at this point in time, I knew, hey, I had to get on to something, and I got to looking, and that led me eventually to a family. People ask me why I did what I did the other night. It was for that family. It wasn't for nothing else. If you watch my body language, if you see anything out of that video and you just mute it and watch my body language, I was still trying to work how I was going to handle this situation while I was handling it in real time on air. That's what live does. That's how we do live. I'm not a scripted man. A lot of times if I use AI to do anything, I will sit there and just tell him, hey, I'm about to ramble. I need you to make this into something that isn't so rambly. And then I still wind up taking it, listening to it, and then rambling anyway, like I'm doing right now. But I sat there and I started looking at the situation, and one of the things that I noticed that a lot of people kept bringing up was that I had put an X on my back because I went out, and where the evidence led me, it led me to a complex situation where the original story I was going on wasn't even the story I found. I found something completely different. Normally, on an average basis, you probably wouldn't have caught me really looking too hard into a recording that was taken against somebody's knowledge. I'm not that guy. I hate that. It drives me nuts. But I started seeing the backlash and the things that were said online, the instant messages I got. And I did have some people come up to me and question me and ask me about my approach. You know, why I played the tape, why I did what I did, why I sort of took that direction. Even some of the guys that you know, I consider the drama mamas, the ones that chase drama, were even pointing fingers saying that I was sort of doing a drama thing. I wasn't, but I was in a very hard situation. And let me explain what we got going on here. I had evidence that I couldn't turn my nose against, and I had to bring the story in some manner or fashion. So I just basically went out there and laid it all out there for everybody to get it without my intervention. I did voice my opinion. Some people said I was a journalist and I went too editorial on it. Well, I did go editorial because I wanted to prove that we have an issue inside of our county, our community, that is growing, is festering, and it's not getting any better. And when things grow and fester, infection happens. Infection runs rampant, and untreated, it leads to amputation. And once we get to the point of untreated, lack of amputation, then we get to the point of the whole body becomes corrupt and it ceases to exist, ceases to function. Now, let's address these things in order. First of all, people say that I had an X on my back, that I had a target painted on my back. I've been doing this a long time. I've had that X on my back for a long time, and I laugh because guess what? If I've had that X on my back, ain't nobody good enough to get me because I'm still here. So when people sit there and they talk about I've got an X on my back, I ain't worried about that X on my back. I'm too public of a figure. I've got too big of a mouth. And I've got too many people that are on my side and supporting me for what we're doing out here to worry about retaliation. And I've been doing the exact same thing. Y'all are just now seeing it in real time in broadcast 4K because I've been doing it the whole time in the newspaper. Every time I'd go out on the newspaper and I'd write something against somebody, oh, you just put an X on your back. I ain't got an X on my back. So these people we're dealing with are not the Gestapos. These guys are not running around with unmeasured wealth because of some sense of strong arm corruption. So let's get that out there. Y'all concerned for me. I don't know how many of you joking, how many of you ain't, but let's just put it out there. I ain't got no X on my back. I ain't got no target on my back. And I promise you this, as big of an idiot as I am, if anybody wanted to get after me, it's out there by mistake. I'll guarantee I've done something that they can come after me and put the bracelets on me just by mistake, not even knowing what I did. And I've done this for all these years. They could have done it. The only time I went to TDC and the only time the government ever come in and got on to me, I deserved every dadgum bit of it. It wasn't retaliation. Matter of fact, if anything, there was times where I deserved worse, but because these people knew who I was, they gave me the benefit of the doubt. Praise Jesus that they were right. I'm working sober. I'm doing this now. My family's happy. And so, like I said, they gave me the benefit of the doubt that I didn't deserve, and I think that was a blessing from God and an answered prayer, but that's a whole different story. So I'm not going to say that there's a bunch of corruption going on out there. What I'm going to tell you this is sort of what I look at it. I think it's a divorce. I think we've got a group of fighting couples in there, and the divorce is coming. You know, we had an election, and it came, and what we see is people that have worked side by side, hand in hand, all these years. They plan road trips. They set destinations, the little side detours, and they go see the biggest booger wall in America with their kids. And then divorce happens. Then you get to arguing. And then you get to saying things. And divorce can take things that good people say bad things. Well, when you have somebody that's worked aligned with each other all these years and you have a breakup, which comes in the form of an election. If you want to ask me how that works, every election, people have to choose sides. It happens. And if you're in the sphere up there, and in people that don't know the sphere up there, let me describe that. You are sort of immersed, and you're always under pressure. Friendships and allies in politics and the legal system they're as fickle as Hollywood marriages. They only last. I mean, if you find somebody that's been friends with somebody for long terms, it's very rare. Most of the time, the relationships, the encounters that happen in the legal circles and in the law side of things, the law enforcement, a lot of it can be considered friends of opportunity and convenience. I'm not anybody that's special. I don't experience it to the side of them, because they hold everything that they do sets precedent. Every argument warrants a judgment. Every judgment sets a tone. It goes into a file. And every liberty is at the opposition of somebody's liberty. You can't coexist. So you got one guy that says, I've got the liberty to do whatever I want to. His stops when it becomes a crime when it infringes on this guy. Well, in this whole sort of circular realm in there, you got the same group of people working with each other every single day of the week. And these guys have to eat in the cafeteria together. They go out to the golfing together. That's the reason why when you get in trouble and you go looking for a lawyer, you're going to go look for the guy that's part of the same social organizations as the judge that you're going to be showing up, or the DA that you're going to be fighting in front of. So that way you can hope that those, am I saying it's right? Am I saying it's wrong? I'm saying that's the reality of the system. It's that way. I've been on it on this side as a journalist, and I openly admit that I was a thug, punk, drunk way back in the day, and I lived a lot of time sitting there listening to them guys at the defendant's table as the DAs and my lawyer and the DAs and the judges and all this stuff would talk, and I would hear it in peripheral. You can hear the casual conversations and the business conversations. Anytime I get in trouble, somebody tell you, this is the lawyer you need to go see because they know this person. That's just the way the system is. But you sort of want that familiarity in one means of fashion because you do want to have that ability to go out there and get a good lawyer when your freedom is on the line. So it's a delicate balance. It's just like being married. It's a delicate balance when you are a man married to a woman or a woman that's married to a man. It's always a difficult balance. And sometimes the man has to go to the baby shower he don't want to go to because he wants to make the wife happy. That's the same daggum thing that goes on up there in them halls. And I'm not even going to say compromises. I'm just saying there is intertwining of agendas and lives and road trips and all this stuff, and people have to be agreeable to make these things happen. So you walk this path of agreement, and then all of a sudden a divorce happens. And when the divorce happens, all of a sudden the people that knew each other intimately are now infighting. Now, the point that I'm trying to make here, and I don't want to get too far away from it, is we have people in the backlash of all this calling people corrupt and this and that and that and this. And the actions that they're seeing may come off as that in the small scope of things. I'm not the definitive person that's going to sit here and say that what I played for 2.5 hours the other night is the whole story. We all know politics. We all know they could give me every single document in that courthouse, and there's so much writing in between the lines that I will never know because not everybody is cautious. But as we look at the whole system as a whole, you got to look at all these little relationships that break up and they go back and forth and they go back and forth, and it's like a divorce. And you got the kids that are being torn apart throughout this whole argument and stuff like that. We're the taxpayers. We're sitting there and we're watching it. We're hearing the arguments, and we hear the nasty that goes on when the divorce is going on. And we're left with opinions. And we see that because we see them on such a small, minute scale, Facebook, my show, other podcasts and stuff like that, that we try to grab a big picture. But what we're actually seeing, guys, we're seeing humans at work. When I say that we are a country and a community of, for, and by the people, I mean it, by people. People are human. So what you're seeing right now is you're seeing a divorce go on because all these players that are involved, I mean, literally, Curry took the baton from Martin. They celebrated each other's birthdays. They celebrated each other's promotions. They celebrated each other's victories. They celebrated each other's family accomplishments, their vacations. They followed them on Facebook. They knew each other. They had a common goal. They had a common path. They had a common thing. And then when an election comes up, you got to choose sides. Well, you know, when I was a kid, I'd walk down the hall, think I had a buddy, and then all of a sudden somebody that he liked a little bit better would come up, and he'd take off and run off the other direction, going in the same footsteps that we just went, and I'm going this way by myself. An elected official, sort of the same thing. They're going along. They got the in crowd. They do all the good things. Then all it takes is one loud fart in a movie theater that embarrasses the whole crowd. Next thing you know, you're the stinker and you're chastised to the corner of the lunchroom. Well, when people start to infight and they start to that divorce and they start bringing out all the trash. At one point in time when I got my tax return, I got my nails did and I got a new car. Now, after this side of the divorce, hey, when we got our tax returns, we got our nails did, he got a new car. They cheat on their taxes. They lied about this. They start telling all the dirty secrets. Some of them inflated. They definitely don't. They pocket the good stuff because the good stuff ain't relevant no more. We're divorcing. We're getting out of here. I see a lot of this because, you know, I'm sort of like the creepy uncle that goes to the family reunions. I'm sort of the guy that stands in the corner with the dadgum camera, and I sit there and I take pictures, and then all of a sudden, after the family reunion, you go open up Facebook, and I got a picture of you with your mouth full, and you got a fork full of food, or you're ugly crying because you just met somebody that you haven't seen in 20 years, and you still don't know who in the world the guy in the corner was. I'm close enough in proximity to be there, hear the talk, see the actions. I can see the people when they're talking business and when they're talking personal. I can see the pressure as the newspaper guy. I follow these stories, and a lot of stories don't make the press, or a lot of the details don't make it here or there, all that, that show the humanity of it, the maneuvers, the this and that. But all you got is you got one big old family up there, and when everybody's on the same page, everybody's good. Now, this is where I want to talk to everybody involved, the voters, the elected officials, and the activists. And I lay that all the way down because you can see on Facebook, there is a list of activists out there that they've got their little target. They've got their little agenda, and they're going after. Then we got our voters out there that are just watching and jumping in. When we had, like I said, this all started with the SPCA thing. And we had people jump out there and jump on board. Oh yeah, birds have been here forever, 181 years, blah blah blah. And they get out there and they start bashing the SPCA. Now, am I saying the SPCA is perfect? No, I look at them sort of like CPS. I mean, when they do good, they save a life. I haven't dove in. I don't know all the details. Like I said, I've had enough on my plate, but I'm just saying. We start infighting, and what happens? Number one, we sit there and we tear our people apart. People have to start choosing sides. Now you got a courthouse. One side's got to choose this one. I got calls yesterday about my approach to this thing. I had some that were saying I went too hard this way. I had some that said I went too hard this way. All I was doing is trying to make a point. We've got something going on, and we need to figure it out. And what we don't need to do is have situations where we're burning the family albums because we have a bad chapter in our history. Instead of taking all those photo albums and all the memories and everything that we've got, our common goals, and throwing them in the fire, we need to remember we all have a common goal. And that's one great Van Zandt County. One great community that leads into a great state that leads into a great country. And if we keep that in mind, we shouldn't be out there trashing our politicians. We should start looking at them as what's going on. What we have going on here is we got a bunch of fighters. They're in the legal system. That's what the legal system is. It's fighting. Anybody that's been in a fight, Once you've been hit once, twice, 3 times the lady, all of a sudden you don't look around you too much. You're focusing on the feller that's been laying knuckle to your head because you don't want to catch another shot. Hyper focus, like you do this. And so when you're doing that, you think, hey, everything's good. I've got my mind. I'm trying to maneuver in this hyper focus. And then next thing you know, you wiggle right and you don't see the haymaker coming in from that direction and you're sitting on the mat. So your hyper focus is not only there to protect you, but a lot of times this hyper focus can also blind you to something that is in the periphery that has gone a blur. What we see here, and I believe it's true with Chris Martin as well as it is with Tonda Curry, is we see 2 fighters that are sitting there that are hyper-focused. Do I believe that Chris Martin is in a pissing contest with Joe Donaldson and Ono Blumbaum and that whole crowd over there? Yeah, I do believe they're in a pissing contest. He's human. So we're seeing human action. Quit saying he's corrupt. Quit saying he's this and that. I don't know if there's any intent. I can't prove that. I'm not going to speak on it. But I can tell you right now, you get somebody in a pissing contest, and then they're going to get a lot of piss on your foot. Do I believe that what Tonda Curry would have done? Do I think that Tonda Curry had gone in that office and spoke openly and freely for an hour and a half? Had not she been hyper-focused on the fight? That she felt she was betrayed, obviously. No. Now, Tonda does have a good little history of opening her mouth and inserting foot, but so did Peter. And I believe she paid the ramifications of that starting at the debate. But guys, we can't go out there. I know these people on both sides. Again, I pointed out, Chris Martin prosecuted me. And after those prosecutions, me and Chris have still talked all the way through his DA, all the way up into his judgeship. It's still hard for me to call him judge because I've known him so personally for so long. Now, are there pissing contests out there? Yes. What you're seeing is human emotion take place. You're seeing human actions take place. But until we can get past the let's destroy the legacy and along with it, throw the bathwater out with the baby, and take the community down with us, we need to stop that. These people have put their neck on the line, and it takes very few people, very few that are qualified to sit in a judge seat or sit in a DA spot. So the pool of candidates is already narrow. And if we go in there and we try to destroy them every time, yeah, there are some sick people out there that just look for self-abuse. But I don't know that those are going to be the best people for the job. I'm asking you right now, guys, let's start looking at this and treating this whole situation as our community. Let's start putting it in context. Most of the people out there that are painting broad strokes with big pictures, with big brushes and stuff like that, they sit there and curl their nose up when the word Nazi is used against the Republicans or snowflake against the liberals. You know, these people don't like that, but yet we go out there and we do it every day on Facebook. Guys, if I don't bring anything to the table, I want to bring context. Context is what you got are human people running in very high-pressure situations, very high-pressure roles, and they are in that pressured role all day long. They don't know if when they're walking down Brookshire's, if the person that's coming to shake their hand is wanting a favor, call in a deed, or just there to say hi and God bless you and mean it. They never know if the paid meal at the restaurant is for somebody just trying to pay it forward or if it's somebody trying to set them up for a future payback. That's across the board. If you don't think it doesn't happen all the way down, probably to the district chairs. I don't know. I'll ask Gavin Whitaker next time I get him down here if the precinct chairs get pressure like that. But you know they do. I've asked Keenan Colbert about it. You're in the pressure cooker all day long. And as that side of the system, it don't stop. You're always called out. You're always doing something. Your workload is so big, you're taking it to the house with you. So people come in, hey, dude, I need this, I need that. People share goals so they can see, hey, how's the best way we can affect this county? And then you go along there 8 years, and then all of a sudden at the next election, hey, the guy that I thought we were on the road trip together was by my side, or I thought that person was by my side. Now I hear recordings where they're saying I did this wrong, or they're supporting the other candidate. I don't know if that's what happened. I'm just saying this happens every time. This is not a unique situation. Then all of a sudden you see the hyper focus kick in. They got boom, the first blow. Lord have mercy. We can look at Tonda Curry. She had blows coming where, I mean, it was a slaughter during that daggum campaign. She got hit from every which direction and all the way up from the Texas State Capitol, Bob Hall coming down the hill. Come down here to throw his own jabs. So yeah, she was hyper focused when she went out there and did that. She was fighting. And my message is still the same to her. If you believe that you've been wronged, and you still believe that the best route to Disneyland is the road course map that y'all have got marked out, we may not be able to stop and look at the biggest booger wall, but hey, go out there and fight your fight, Tonda. Same thing with Judge Martin. Man, don't let the divorce destroy the county. Y'all heard all the accusations that were out there that were laid to bear. Most of those have not been tried. I do know that there was a filing for Judge Martin to recuse himself from the case. And then yesterday it was signed that he refused to recuse himself. Duh. I mean, why would he? If he feels he's right. And I mean, if you feel like you're winning the fight, why would you tell your manager to throw in the towel? I mean, can't blame him for not. But if there's any portion of piss that's in the mix here, guys, if you're drinking your sweet tea and one drop of pee gets in it, you're not going to drink that tea. You don't care if it's just one drop of urine or if it's a freaking half a cup. If you know one drop of urine's in there, you ain't going to drink it. Well, let's quit the pissing contest. If it is. I'm not saying it is. Don't want to make no accusations, no, but it just sort of sounds like it to me. It sounds, what I sit here, I feel sort of like, as I was going through this, I felt like, when your best friend goes through a divorce, or when your aunt or your uncle, or your mom or your dad, I think, bless Jesus, I didn't have to go through that with my mama and daddy. But I've gone through a divorce myself with no kids. And I'm telling you, I've seen many of them go apart, dude. People get torn apart. Families get torn apart. Don't burn down the communal assets so you can screw the wife or the ex. Don't do that because there's still the children involved. I know you guys have got your ammunition against each other because, again, we're all fallible. If you followed me around 24/7, you would have a whole heck of a lot to put on broadcast and bash me for. You guys are in a very confidential, tight-lipped industry. You can't go sharing a whole lot of stuff. So a lot of the stuff that y'all disagree with, you can't air publicly. And when you get the urge to, think about it. What will this do to the children? When parents are sitting there calling each other every name in the book at the dinner table, and you got the little ears on the other side of the table, and you hear these kids hearing it, it may be true, it may not. It may be an exaggeration, an over-categorization. Oh, you walked out of the store with a $5 bill one time that you found on the floor. That wasn't your $5 bill. Oh, you're a crook, you're a criminal. And then you blow it all the way up to you're a felon, you're a thief. And by the time the argument completely blows up, all the kids here are, you're a this, you're a that, you're a this, you're a that. Now these kids got to go back and redefine their parents. They got to redefine everything. They got to redefine the whole household, the whole family structure, because kids, once they get into that kind of thing, let's not separate the house. Yes, you've got your differences. You've got your infighting. You're all human. We're all human. I guarantee if Tonda Curry could go back and if nothing else, Frisco Joe Donaldson and make him sign a sworn affidavit or something like that, he wasn't recording, she would do so. But the cards are what we have. They're out there. The truth is out there. True feelings true cases, true video, true audio. And as the elected, I've talked about the voter, I've talked about the elected. Please, I know you have been hit, you've been beat up. Old Joe Donaldson's done a number on old Martin. I guarantee he's kept his office busy. Martin's been hit too up there. Anytime you got to answer for it, every time Chris Martin hears Joe Donaldson, I'm sure he's like, "Urgh." He's been beaten up. So don't think that when somebody's making moves in a hyper-focused, mid-fight, choice-making circumstance, don't think that that speaks about everything. Just think about it this way. They've got one eye swollen shut. The nose is broken. They're breathing heavy. We're 15 minutes in. Guys, and I just got a text. I'm not trying to make light of any legal situation. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to minimize the toxicity that is going on behind the scenes. The toxicity behind the scenes is not for anybody's gain. Nobody's a winner out of that tape we played the other night. The legal system needs to be definitive, and we need to have true judgment. To have true judgment out of a cast of humans, we need fact, and we need people to step beyond the divorce and look at what's best for the kids. And yes, Joe Donaldson and Bloombaum and all them are all the kids. They're taxpayers. I'm even going to go as far as saying the guys that were fighting the Roosters or accused of fighting the Roosters and got everything pulled away from them and all that was alleged against them and all that crap. Yes, they are part of the children. And every one of them needs to be held accountable for what is proven, and we got to know what is proven is not manipulated. We need to know that when a filing comes across the court, it's not going to be rejected because there's a pissing contest involved. Because the person that is sanctioning the court for a ruling should walk away feeling they got a fair and just ruling. And a pissing contest should not matter. It should be the information and the evidence. On the same other side, there should not be a pissing contest between our lead attorney and any other office in the county that deals with people's liberty and freedom. Because if a man, let's just say that there is no cockfighting going on one bit at all at this place. To have an arrest that was signed, or a warrant that was signed by a judge, and an arrest and liberties encroached upon for a shot at the opponent is not right to the guy that owns that flock. On the same side, using the same evidence, it is not right for that man to get his flock back in a civil matter and still face criminal charges on that same matter. If he is breaking the law, he needs to know he's breaking the law, and he needs to be able to prepare for the fight to prove his innocence or prepare for the judgment of guilt, however that manner and process goes. Nothing on that side of the bar should ever affect what goes on with a person's liberty and freedom. So, I guess I am the oldest child walking in to two bickering parents. And I'm like, sit down. And mom and dad stop their argument mid-argument, and they look at the kid. And they could tell their 13-year-old who has gone through maturity and knows a little bit about life is sitting them down, calling them out, and a moment of humility comes in, and the parents sit down. And in a true moment of honesty, a come-to-Jesus moment, the oldest breaks it to the parents that the youngest are in there crying and that nobody wants two Christmases. But by golly, if you're going to have two Christmases, let's go ahead and start wrapping two sets of presents instead of sitting here arguing. If I have to play the role of the weird uncle that comes up with some sort of weird concept to bring peace because we know this isn't the last family reunion we're all going to be together with. We know there's going to be a tomorrow. We're going to see each other in the store. Now, you don't care about how somebody does their job, vote them out. Let the vote speak. If you want to know more in a technological age, you can find more. But it is up to you to make the effort. And because you don't make the effort to stay up on what's going on, we can't look at them and assume they're robots and are completely perfect. The reason why you don't keep up is because you've got a life. You've got your own pressures at work. You've got your own people at work asking you for favors and can you pick this load up, do this load, do that, whatever. You ain't got time to do it. That's what I'm here for. They are going through, and until you've been in the circle, you just don't understand. There's people in the medical field. Us people that are outside the medical field, we don't understand the medical field. Firefighters, we got a lot of firefighters, a lot of military guys out there. You can sit there and talk about what it's like to be in war. You can talk about what it's like to be in a fight in a ring. I fought Taekwondo tournaments forever. I can tell you what it's like to get a roundhouse kick in the head, but until you've seen them stars, you ain't going to know, especially if somebody's never been in a fight. Now, these people, some of them, especially in the legal side, it's a career move. They go from lawyer into judging and all that stuff, and they go from private practice to DAing and all that. You know, it's a career move. But to have the desire to go out there and put your neck on the line and serve your people, we don't need to be trashing people for that. Now, if we can prove they're self-servant intentionally, different story. If we can prove they're criminal intentionally, different story. Because, again, if you're a criminal, you should know you're a criminal. And if you know you're a criminal, you should know there's repercussions coming. If you're not a criminal, then I go back to we need a system of representatives that will allow the best of the best to come through. If you notice on the coverage of my broadcast the other night, you would think, okay, there was one broadcast. There would be one rhetoric outside of that broadcast. There wasn't. People that are not plugged in, like me, to what goes on, just watching what's going on in the public speak, sat there and took up two totally different sides of this issue. We are a mass of many. And you're going to find people that can take the same information and get something totally opposite out of it. So we're not going to sit here and start saying corrupt. We're not going to sit here and start saying that I'm going to be targeted. And we're not going to sit here and say that anything was other than what it is and what I personally believe. Corbin, throw it back up there. As the creepy uncle that sits over there in the corner and watches everything incognito and nobody can really see me doing nothing until they really want to see me. You want to know what I say? Guys, this is what I personally believe. What we are seeing here is we're seeing people that at one point in time were trusted allies. Now that cooperation and partnership has gone separate ways, I truly believe what we are seeing is what all of us have witnessed in the private sector is a nasty divorce. We've got good people saying bad things because of hyper-focused, adrenaline-pumping survival instinct. They're blinded by the periphery because they don't want another shot, and they're hyper-focused on what they're hyper-focused on. I am just saying this. Let's utilize the new broadcast age. This new age that we have to where nothing is really, and this can be really stressing when you live under a microscope, but you go into public life as you do, especially in 2026, you got to expect it. You have to expect it. And just like my mama always told me, if you don't want to be caught off guard, be on your best behavior at all times. And that's what I got to say. Guys, let's reboot. Voters, activists, and politicians. Let's reboot. Let's get back to where we know that there's a tomorrow. We're going to have to see these servants in our grocery stores tomorrow. And even if you can't say anything good about what they did in their time in office, at least keep speaking to yourself. At least they served. Because if you have not taken public office yourself and experienced everything that goes along with it, you should have one thing positive to say. Just like I had the two commissioners on the other day, and I said, I want to hear one con against the CAD organization that they did, because I want both sides told. Well, guys, I played the thing the other day, the whole tape, the whole message. I showed y'all the information. I sat 24 hours. I saw the blowback. I saw the comments. I saw everything that built up off of it. And I felt it was time to come in here on this side of the equation and tell y'all, guys, it's time for context. I think we've got it all hyper-focused and we're blinded. And let's step back. If nothing else, thank our politicians for what they do, for even stepping out there and taking the abuse, for getting so beat up that they had to go into hyper-focus mode. Now, you may not like what they did. You don't have to say nothing else nice about them. But guess what? You don't have to say either. You don't have to say anything else bad about them either. If you're an activist, that's what you do. Go out there, preach your truth, but back it with fact and understand that the other side is just a human being that likes applesauce when you don't. And if we quit trying to make everybody out there our personal enemy in politics, and we start seeing the people behind the policy and the policy making. Oh, did I say that before? I've said it multiple times. We get to where we start seeing these people as who they really are, caring for our neighbor, and understanding, then we're not going to see the infighting. Because guess what? In this latest little story here, I had a family that felt helpless. Everybody wants to know why I took this to camera. It wasn't to go after anybody that's ever accepted a vote from the public. It wasn't to go after the game foul or the game cockfight and think it wasn't none of that. As I've already made my side on that known. I have a dear friend that's in heaven that sort of changed my perspective on it, even though it's not my flavor. I knew the man, I loved the man, and I understood his argument because it was a tradition thing that, like I said, again, I can't exactly wrap my mind around it. You're not going to catch me there, but I knew the man, I knew his heart, and I understood, and from that point on, I quit villainizing it to the extreme. Now, is there bad out there? Yes. Do I care for it? No. Do I agree with it? No. But am I going to sit there and just, no, I'm not going to trash anybody in that because my good buddy up there in heaven is watching right now, and I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to change my mind now. I still believe in that man, and I believe in his heart. But that being said, I also believe if you're going to step out there on the courthouse front steps and go, woohoo, we beat it, and take to the mic and the camera, and don't be surprised when Dallas and Tyler pick it up, and then old Bert has to get on the deal, and all of a sudden I got the videos. Yeah, I've seen them. So that's your own battle, dudes. Y'all got that. But what played into the dismissal of those charges, the audio that we heard and the video we saw the other night, that's when I believe the divorce procedure has gotten too toxic. That is no longer show a collective, unified desire to go forward with any sort of positive relationship. And mind you, that relationship destroys families. It destroys the taxpayer dollar, the taxpayers. I mean, I bring it up. I dare anybody. Anybody out there, tell me, you watched that video, did you ever hear the concern for the taxpayer in anything that you ever heard? All the rumors you hear, you don't hear no concern about that when people start this infighting. We need to get to the point where if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. My mama said that. If you're in the legal system and you got to do legal work and stuff like that, just keep it professional in the courtroom. I mean, I don't care what side of the bar you're on. And if you're out there on the other side of the keyboard, I'm just going to say this. Remember, don't burn down the family tree because you found a knot on it. We can get beyond this. If we all have a collective mind on how to go better and forward with the county, we stick by our guns, and you fight. Joe Donaldson, we got that recording because Joe Donaldson was fighting for what he felt was just. You know, I've got a family that all this started because he was fighting because he felt it was just. And I took his fight. That's the person this was about. I took his fight to the camera. Out of all the things that were out there, it was the private citizen that said, I feel helpless because I don't know what to do. Guys, that citizen is that child looking up at the two divorced parents as they walk out the door, suitcases in hand, and has no idea what he wants to do. And all he hears is, which one do you want to go with? A decision to stick up for your family and fight for the safety, the unity, security, and liberty of your family is something that when you feel like you cannot defend, especially on something you worked your whole life to build, your home, the place is supposed to be your sanctity, your peace, and you feel like your hands are tied and there's nothing left to do except for something that's just not going to work out in the best for your family, then the right thing is to fight through the channels that you have. And I've always said that I don't mind stepping up and fighting that fight when personal liberties are involved. Now, for everybody that was wanting to know my motive, I dropped it right here at the end. My motive wasn't to do anything other than to stand up for somebody that felt like they didn't have a voice. Now, the purpose of today's message was to say what was revealed the other day needed to be revealed. It had to come out. I argued and talked and felt like I had to do it. And I think the people that called me in the last 24 hours and questioned my motives understood, because I could not bring this family too much into the fray because I did not want that to bring retaliation upon that family. So a lot of the stuff that I've got that came from, I can't even show, because just showing it, it would show who they are. But I'm going to say this. I will stand up and fight every day of the week for somebody that is on my side of the vote. Because my side of the vote is where the roots are. I've said that before. On that other side of the vote, all that other crap goes on. People getting pissed off over there at me. If you're a public official, that's fine. You can get pissed off at me all you want to. You were elected to represent even idiots like me. And if being the biggest mouthed idiot that you represent is going to get you upset, that's fine. But having a big mouth, I've got a lot of ears listening to me. And all I'm saying is let's bring civility back into our politics in this community. Let the divorce, let's let it be amicable. Let's let everybody have split holidays. Everybody gets to go and have 2 Thanksgiving dinners, and we can all cuddle together at night and have hot cocoa at the end of this. Let's not go and just tear everything apart, because honestly, dude, our guys dudes, fellas, my homies. The only thing that y'all are doing is tearing the house apart. You don't want the other person to have the dadgum car, so you go over there and you burn the Corvette to the ground. Guess what? You don't get to drive it either, dude. I mean, go back, mute my last broadcast. You'll probably never hear this before. Go mute my last broadcast. Just watch my body language. Watch how I was the few minutes I was on. Watch how I was. I'm still working this out in my head. There's so many questions. There's so many questions. There's more questions. I mean, literally, I start looking at this, and I mean, bunch of stuff don't make sense. Bunch of stuff, there's loopholes. And it's just like any other divorce out there. You may see the couple that's getting divorced at the Applebee's or at the family reunion or anything like that, but you don't know what it was that caused the final rift. You know the stories that you're told after the fact. The kids know more than the people on the outside, but even the kids don't know what happens behind closed doors and the arguments that happen in the car when the kids are at school. If parents are any good, the kids don't find out about parents cheating and stuff like that. But what we have right now is we got two parents up there, and one of them, because Chris Martin was not in the recording, he was not represented there, and honestly, he was obviously the target in that whole conversation, so leave it at that. You can expect what you can expect. But we've got parents singling their kids out saying, this is what's going on. Your dad's this, your dad's that, your dad's this, your dad's that. Or your mom's this, your mom's that, your mom's this, your mom's that. And outside in our community, what do you see on Facebook? Mom's this, mom's that, dad's this, dad's that. And there ain't no happy road trip no more. Guys, as a community, let's realize that the kids are listening. Y'all can't reveal everything y'all know. We understand that. We don't understand everything y'all got going on there. But one thing we can see is the product you put out. I go back to everything that you do draws judgment. Every judgment you make sets a precedent. And every precedent that you set affects our liberties. So remember, every vindictive, callous, pissing contestish, targeted, aimed, agendized, whatever you want to call it, action that is aimed at somebody else other than to protect the liberties of the people that are sitting right here casting your votes, the ones on the other side of that case, on the other side of that paper file, until first and foremost, that is the consideration, then all the other stuff needs to be put back. Because if that's getting in the way, then you're not doing your job. You're not representing the people. So mom, dad, sit down on the couch, please. Can't we just all get along? Mommy, daddy, we need you. We need you, mommy and daddy. We'll see y'all next week on VZTV. Bye-bye.